What do you got for us, Lisa? Hello. Yes.
All right, the battle between Jason Kaplan and Richard and Sal continued well into Friday afternoon as Sal confronted Jason to defend the honor of his life partner, Richard. Sal says Jason went below the belt by calling Richard a hick on Thursday's wrap-up show. Sal claims hick is a racist term, and it's wrong and offensive. Jason fired back, saying that off the air, Sal is a nice guy, but on the air, he acts like an asshole.
Right. Well, I don't know. I talked to the boys this morning about
Really? There's a real animosity brewing?
I just said, one thing I can't have going on around here, that this show is based on creativity and people sort of teaming up and exchanging ideas. And if you guys are like constantly fighting with each other and afraid to talk to one another, then the ideas don't filter down to me here. So, I'm over here in the studio, you guys are over there, so I don't know if this is all conducive to a good work environment.
Maybe it's time for a team meeting.
Yeah.
It's conducive to a good work environment, but not a good work Howard Stern environment. I mean,
Right.
and I love Richard Christie to death, but I'm going to give him a little criticism right now, and I love Richard. I think Richard is being kind of a baby here.
He's super sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, look at what we all go through on this show. Robin just sat through 18 song parodies about her vagina. I discuss my heroin. Richard has written heroin parodies about me. My father gets discussed. Howard's incredibly honest. You know what? Gary goes through hell on this show. And part of the deal is you got to have a thick skin, and you come in here if you can't handle it.
I think his objection is out in the hall.
Yeah, this is something different.
Yeah, I know.
You're not understanding what the thing is. What the problem is, that off the air,
right,
these guys have to work together, and what happens is they get so brutal with each other out there that everyone kind of goes, fuck it, I'm not going to go in there because
right. But I am talking about off the air because Richard refuses to go to Will now. Because Will yelled at him and refuses to go to Will and give him stuff to bring on the air. I'm not just talking about him coming in here.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. So that's off the air.
But that's not something you necessarily expect to have happen when you're trying to get an idea on the air.
Right.
The person you have to go through yelling at you may be a stopper.
It's not like me. It's not like what happens on the air. It's like off the air. It's become such a headache for everyone to interact that they stop interacting.
So you're saying Will is wrong too for yelling at him?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm just saying I don't know what goes on back there.
All right.
No, Will's great.
I know. But
all these guys are
whatever
great.
the dynamic is seems to be stopping people from communicating.
Right.
I got to tell you.
So I said, guys, look at that and make sure everyone's comfortable. Yeah.
Morale is down so much in the office because of the conversation that was had here before the show this morning.
Yeah.
Because it's now viewed that this is what's going on in the office.
No, I told you, and I'm going to say it again, because you guys aren't hearing me.
But all of us didn't hear you.
If something is going on out there, straighten it out.
But we told you, and you didn't seem to believe us.
No, I didn't say I didn't believe you. I said, if there's something going on out there, why don't you guys sit down and clear the air? It might be better for the show so that people don't feel inhibited. And you told me some things, and I said, okay, I'm just looking into it. I'm hearing a lot about this.
I don't even mind saying the things that I told you. It's the office gets along great.
Right.
We work in this environment. We've been working together forever. Everybody gets it. One guy didn't get it, and now it's making it look like our office doesn't function
It's not making it look like anything. I'm just telling you, if there is a problem, maybe you can help him work through it.
But we have tried, and we've spoken about it.
So then you've done it.
Everybody walked out of here feeling as if you felt the office
then get the fuck over it.
but that's what we said to Richard.
Yeah.
We all walked out of here.
I said to you, if there's not a problem, then I'm not worried about it.
But it didn't seem like, and Howard, I wasn't the only one. It didn't seem like you believed that there wasn't a problem. You were like, okay, fine.
I'm going to tell you again. I said, if there's no problem, don't worry about it. If there is a problem, look at yourselves and make sure you're not beating the guy down, and make sure that he feels comfortable enough to present his ideas. And you told me that you've created an environment where people are comfortable. So I said, okay, that's it. It's not that I don't believe you.
I don't know what happened this morning. Something happened before the show.
Yes, I'm not out there to monitor what goes on.
Understood.
But
do you trust me to handle it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, but I brought it up to you. I said, gee, I'm hearing some things on the air. Have you really looked hard at this? Have you looked at yourself in your role you play and all of that? And I just asked you to check it. That's it. It's not a question whether I believe you or not.
Really, everybody walked out of here feeling as
Well,
if...
everybody's got to get their fucking shit together.
But what's different than the way we feel? How come our feelings aren't
Nothing.
worth anything?
Because
but
if you're
Richard's are worth more?
interpreting the words that I just told you that I don't believe you, then you have a psychological
You seem
problem.
skeptical, and I wasn't the only one. Everybody walked out.
I'm
All
not
of us-
skeptical.
But
I
just-
asked you,
Howard, hold on.
Gary-
Maybe you have to take a look. If 4 people walk out of here
Right.
with the same feeling,
Right.
maybe, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but maybe, how do we all get the same thought? Without talking to each other.
I asked you to look at yourself.
No, I got that, but how do we all walk
I'll
out with
tell
the
you how
same
you all
feeling?
got the same thought. Some of you feel guilty. That's how you got the thought. I just put it out there. I said, is there something going on that you could make better?
So all 4 of us felt guilty.
Yep, absolutely. Why else? If my words were, is there something you can do to do, and you said no, and you walked out of here feeling a guilt, I didn't put it on you. You
Well,
put it on yourself.
But we said we had it under control, and you questioned it again. Then we said we had it under control, and you questioned it again.
No, you told me you had it under control. I asked for a further explanation. I heard it, and I said, okay. How should I have handled it, Gary? Ignore it?
No. But
Right.
after we brought it up the first time, and I said, Howard, I promise you that we've got it under control, and you said, I'm just saying, take a look at yourselves, and that's almost
I
like saying...
said, take a look at the situation and make sure everyone feels comfortable enough to contribute.
And I said to you that this office has been running
Right, and I
really
accepted
well.
it.
For
What
one
did I
time,
not accept?
Except for one guy.
Okay, so I said, all right, that sounds reasonable to me. Go back and continue to operate. What did I tell you to do? Nothing. You guys don't like to hear the voice of reason. It's Lord of the Flies out there.
Well, that's what I was saying about Richard.
Well, guess what? That's why I put it out there.
And Richard's piggy.
Well, is Richard feeling more comfortable now? That's the bottom line.
Well, he is, because he came and spoke to me this morning about his weekend
Well,
and
there you
stuff like
go.
that.
All right.
All right, so there we go. We're on track. So maybe something I said resonated because people are feeling more comfortable. Ah.
No, that's not
No,
what,
it
that's
couldn't
not
be
what
me.
happened.
It couldn't be that. All of a sudden, you tell me Richard
You don't
feels more
even know
comfortable.
what's going. No, Richard feels more comfortable because we spoke to him on Friday. And
Good.
I actually went in there before our
So you
conversation.
took care of it. So something
Yes.
changed.
Nothing-
Something that you were doing before changed. You talked. You had a conversation with him.
Right. I didn't listen.
That's all I asked. That's all I asked of you, Fla Fla Fluhi.
You know,
Yes.
can I just tell you one other thing because I got to get this off
Sure.
my
I
chest.
love hearing from you.
I said to Howard. I said to Howard, like, this was a
Why
rhetorical.
didn't you send me a Father's Day card?
This was a rhetorical question, Robin. I was trying to explain how Richard got so upset. I said, Howard, in the history of the show, during a commercial break, have you ever snapped at me?
No.
And he's supposed to go, yes, and he goes, not that I can think of. And my point was going to be, you snapped at me and I got over it, we moved on, because that's how the show has to operate. But when you said you couldn't remember one time, that bowled me over.
I can name one time I snapped at you.
Oh, God. I mean,
You can't remember one either because I don't. I'm reasonable with you.
Listen, it happens. We're working together. This whole show is a deadline because it's live. So I don't
Listen.
take it personally.
Things got so ugly that Jason's mom emailed Sal.
Really?
Yes.
When?
I know about things that you don't even know about.
Emailed about what?
That's right. Because things, listen, am I right or wrong?
Jason's mom is very sensitive.
What is it, Sal?
She said, leave my son alone
Really?
from the wrap-up show. And, you know, she gets mad when I say your mother hates you. And that was mean-spirited. I said it at the moment,
So
defending
what I
Richard.
said was this, and this is what I said to Fafa Huhai. I said, gee, it sounds like things are pretty wild out there. I'm not out there to see it. It doesn't sound like a fun environment to contribute in. Why don't you take a look at it?
But it's
you
not
got
fun.
so
But
defensive.
say what, you heard one person's opinion of the environment.
Gary,
but there's
I was
10 people.
Gary, you're not hearing again.
But there's 10 people who are having fun in that
But
environment.
Gary, I needed to ask about
But you said it doesn't sound fun.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound fun to me.
It's not funny.
And
It's
you
not
explained to me that it is fun and that you had things under control, and then you walked out of here feeling guilty. I don't know why. If
All
you
of
feel
them.
guilty,
4 guys walked out of here feeling guilty.
well, okay, so then there's something to that. Why would you feel guilty?
I didn't. You said I did.
I didn't
feel
you said
guilty.
in here, you guys
No.
all walked out with the same feeling.
We felt that you didn't trust us. We didn't say we felt
What
guilty.
did I- what-
You
what
said,
did I
hold on
say
a
to
second.
you that didn't
I
make you
never
feel that
said
way?
I felt guilty. You said I felt guilty, and I have not agreed to
You
it.
do, because the
I
four of
don't.
you walked out of here
do not
feeling
feel
like
guilty.
I don't trust you. I trust you. I said go.
I shouldn't say trust isn't the word. Feeling like you didn't believe we're running the office the way we felt we should be.
I would have no idea how you run the office. I don't have any clue what you do out there. For all I know, you could be like Reverend Creflo Dollar. And
Everyone's tithing to me.
who knows? I don't know what you do out there.
Howard, in my opinion, it shouldn't even have gotten to you. Gary should have squashed it immediately.
Of course.
He should have
Now,
taken
hold on
Richard
a second,
aside,
douchebag.
spoke to him, and cleaned it up without bothering you. You got other things on your mind.
Sal, all I said to Gary was, can things be...
Right? As a producer, sure.
All I said was, can things be improved?
How was your Father's Day, douchebag?
Hey, by the way, speaking of Father's Day, I heard Sal on the wrap-up show say something. I mean, you talk about your dad and everything. I didn't know your dad was illiterate.
Yeah, he's illiterate.
Yeah.
He doesn't read or write?
No, but he knows
And then his
everything.
dad
Yeah.
made them. His dad would spend $200 or $300 a week on lotto tickets.
A day.
Well, at the time it was only on Saturday, so every Saturday it was about $300 every Saturday. Now it's when it became twice a week, it was $500 a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's Italian.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just remember, like I said, we hardly had, at times we had nothing to eat. You know, we were eating like Wonder Bread with little marinara sauce on top of it. And my father would whip out a stack of tickets, like it was like as thick as 2 decks of cards. He goes, not after tonight. We're all going to the card dealer tomorrow.
And every week he thought he was going to win.
Oh, every yeah.
That's the biggest sucker play on the planet.
And you know what story
that's my
ruins
dad.
it?
I mean, you cannot win that lottery.
We have shoe boxes and shoe boxes loaded with old lotto tickets
Why do
all
you
over the
keep
house.
the old lotto tickets?
I don't know. My
You never know.
He doesn't want to let go of them. We had to keep them. My mom had to put them in a shoebox and put them on top of the china closet.
His father will change his name for 3 weeks, but not get rid of lotto tickets. You know what story feeds the monster too is Double A.
Right.
You know, you hear about the one guy
Who won the lottery.
Yeah, and that's it. That feeds the monster.
That's the best advertising.
Double A don't work.
Sal, after 5 years of not going to the car dealership, did anyone ever say anything to your dad?
No.
Like, you were going, but you never won.
Never. We never won.
You don't talk to his dad.
Not,
you kidding
he
me?
never won like even...
30 grand one time.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, he took us out for dinner at some buffet, some shitty buffet. He gave us $100 each, and everything went back into the lottery.
Right.
Wow.
It's not like the money was saved.
Yeah.
They love when you win 30 grand because that's going right back in.
That means 100 grand's coming back in lottery.
Every time my friends would come over after school, he would sit them down at the kitchen table. He'd say, write your name on the back of the card and fill it out, and I'll split it with you. So all my friends would spend half of their day filling out lotto tickets for my father.
I mean, he had so many lotto tickets that he
So
couldn't even
many.
think up numbers in order to...
Yeah, he had everybody play. Every single person that came by, he played.
Howard, he said that his father believes in people who are almost could see the future.
Right.
So Sal said at the pizzeria, this homeless black guy wandered in one day and started telling Sal's father, something bad's going to happen to you. And Sal's father was about to throw him out of the pizzeria when he realized this guy might know stuff, so he sat him down and made him fill a lottery.
Yeah. So with this homeless guy in our pizzeria filling out lottery tickets.
Didn't that guy see the no Moulignon sign on his fucking door? First of all,
When my grandmother died, Howard, the day we left the wake, and my father goes, everybody tonight go to bed with a pen and a pad. And we're like, why? He goes, because Grandma's going to come to us with those numbers. She's going to bail us out.
Wow.
He goes, and if you don't write them down, as soon as you wake up, you're going to forget, and we're going to blow this thing. So everybody had to go to sleep with a pen and a pad on their nightstand, waiting for our dead grandmother to come to us with numbers.
Unbelievable. Now, that's wacky.
He's just out of his mind. I mean, I bought Mexican jumping beans as a kid. Remember those things they would hop?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the pizzeria in Hop Hog, and the Mexican jumping beans are jumping on the table.
Right.
And my dad goes, what the hell is that? I go, Mexican jumping beans. My dad goes to the stationery store next door, buys a piece of oak tag, and fills it out as a lottery ticket. He makes 54 boxes, throws the Mexican jumping beans on top, and when a Mexican jumping bean jumped on a number, he filled it in on the card.
Wow. I mean, everything was a sign.
Everything. He played 9/11 because it was on the cover of the... Never mind that the towers went down, because it said 9/11. That was a sign to play the pick three for 2 weeks straight. He would put $100 on one number. Like, not the pick three, you put a buck, a 50-cent box, 50-cent street, $100 on 9/11. No problem at all.
Did your grandma's numbers work? Did anybody ever get the numbers from grandma?
My grandmother never came to me.
Never came.
No,
Thank God.
Yeah. If she did, she probably said, your dad's out of his mind.
She hightailed it out of town. She never looked back.
It's funny that your grandmother was going to reach over from beyond to give you the numbers.
Right.
Why would she know him after she died?
Yeah,
She didn't know him when she was alive.
well, she knows God now.
Why does grandma know numbers?
I don't know. That was Grandma Nina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sal.
Well,
I feel your pain.
Thanks.
So Gary,
Howard seems to think that this whole Office feud is a lot worse than it is, right? Is that the whole thing?
Well, I think it makes it sound like the office isn't being run correctly, and that there's this environment here where people are afraid to create because they're afraid of getting shot down in a way that makes them feel bad about themselves.
And then Howard the other day was talking about like the Office and how everything's handled back here, and you said that brought morale down.
Well, I think that everybody here felt when he was talking to us in the morning, like, hey, maybe it's a bad place, the way it's being run, you got to take a look at it, and we were sort of like, I don't know, we think it runs pretty well, we just think Richard, is just being a little sensitive.
So it's really just this one isolated incident?
Yeah, I mean, nobody else here has ever complained about anything like this before. JD's never come to me, or Jason, or John Hine, or Sal, for that matter, has never come to me and said, oh my God, the way you guys handle the office, it hurts my feelings. So Richard got his feelings hurt, which is understandable, but, I mean, like I said, we're on a deadline every minute. We're doing a live show. So you can't always be nice to everybody every minute. And I've had times where I wasn't as nice to people as I would have liked to have been. You go back and you apologize, and everybody sort of understands you're in the emotions of the moment. And Richard, for whatever reason, didn't understand at that particular time, even though Will did apologize.
So nothing really has to change then, right? It's just Richard, he's a little too sensitive, would you say?
Well, I guess we have to be more sensitive to Richard now is what has to change.
So, Will, how's everything going in the office now? Howard was talking about how everything's being run in the office. And I kind of feel like morale's down around here ever since that.
It's an awful experience working here at the Howard Stern
Why?
Show. Because
So
you have
bad.
to deal with people like me that kill creativity. Whenever I hear a good idea, I like to squash it because I'm an asshole.
Is it you're too mean to them?
Too mean to everybody. He's a big crybaby. That's the bottom line.
Who, Richard?
Richard is a little bit of a crybaby. I mean, we made up. I apologized after I yelled at him once. I mean, you work here, everybody gets a little, nutty at times. But I apologized, and I thought that was the end of it. But, these guys like to start a war, so...
So nothing really has to change, right? It was just
No, nothing needs to change.
maybe Richard has to toughen up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Grow a set of nuts, you faggot.
How's everything around the office now?
It's good. Everything's cool. I mean, me and Sal are in here having a blast. I talked to Gary this morning, talked to Will. Everything's cool. Apparently Jason has a problem with me and Sal, but that's fine. I don't really deal with Jason much anyway, so everything's good.
Did anything change to make it better, or just
No, it just
time
takes
helped?
time heals all wounds, that kind of thing. Just takes time sometimes.
And now, how can you avoid something like this in the future?
How can I avoid? Yeah, I don't know.
Was it you think you were being too sensitive, or do you think Will was being too mean about it?
Yeah, I just think, things get heated sometimes, the show is very fast-paced, and I think, around here everybody kind of knows, on the air it's one thing to talk down to somebody, that's fine, that all happens, but when you're off the air, everybody wants to be treated with respect, so I think everybody knows that, and everything's cool now.
So it was just this one little incident?
Yeah, just one thing. I mean, out of I've been here 5 years now, one little thing, it's no big deal. So, I think everything's cool. Me and you are cool, right?
Of course.
Yeah.